What's going on? It's Jada Black here. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Ben Simmons, NBA player from the Philadelphia 76ers, and Tinashe. She is a singer. Was also a part of Dancing with the Stars. They briefly dated for, I believe, a couple of months. And then Ben left her to be with Kendall Jenner. Now, Tinashe has never really gotten over it to this day. She still hasn't. There has been a lot of back and forth, especially on her part. And we're going to get into that. But make sure y'all like the video. Now, I want to talk about the fact that he broke up with her. He left. He was done. And he wanted to be with Kendall. And you had Tinashe basically saying that he messed around on her with Kendall. Now, this may be true, and I believe that it could be true because, one, I think Ben didn't really want to be in a relationship with Tinashe anymore. I think that he had an opportunity to get with the Jenner, and he took it, like some of these other guys that Kendall Jenner has gotten with. And we have seen how Kendall Jenner has treated Ben Simmons. She's treated him like nothing more than a photo op, like somebody to boost her own, spotlight, so to speak. The things that she has done, how she has made Ben Simmons look like a complete fool, will show you that even though Tinashe is saying that he messed around on her with Kendall took him from her, I believe he wanted to leave. And I think she knows that as well. And this is why there was situations where she would show up at different places and events that he and Kendall were. So that led Ben Simmons to accuse her of stalking him, basically. And she denied it. As a matter of fact, she even made a diss song to this guy. That's how much in her feelings she was about this, because she can't take rejection. And there's a lot of females out there that just can't take rejection. Okay, it happens. Women leave men all the time. You got women that will brag about leaving a relationship, getting out of it. But the thing about Ben is that he never said anything about how the relationship didn't work out. She's been the main one talking. He's been responding because I think he wanted to work with Kendall, but we've seen how Kendall has made a complete fool out of this guy. She's made a fool out of him. But be that as it may, okay, she again has been on social media. She made the diss song. He is pretty much over her. He doesn't even mention her. He doesn't talk about her. And one of the main reasons why I'm speaking on this is because of the fact that she liked one of his newest tweets. Even though he accused her of stalking him, even though she made a song dissing him, she still wants this guy's attention. And for someone who's not ugly, the thing about Tinashe is that she is a cute enough girl to get with another guy, but especially a guy in the industry if that's what she wants. But there's just something about her that draws men away from her, And I think she was a little thirsty for a relationship with Ben Simmons. He's a rising NBA star, from Australia, And she saw this as an opportunity to have an industry relationship. She was even wearing a 25 chain with his jersey number on it. They were even wearing matching necklaces. She was at one of his games. You'll probably see the picture in the video where she's sitting courtside wearing his jersey. She wanted that type of relationship. And when it didn't work out, okay, now she's really in her feelings about this. She won't let this go. She is still following this guy on social media, hoping that one day he changes his tune. I don't think he is. Maybe down the road he will. But I think Ben likes to be single or with Kendall, you know, one of those two, because I just feel like that was a fling that went longer than it should have. They dated from March to about May. I think that was a fling that went on far too long. And I think women get caught up in that. They get caught up in these flings, and they think these guys really want to be with them, but it was a fling to these guys. It really wasn't anything important. He was just there to smash. There was really no situation where he was looking to be with her long term. Maybe it was. Maybe the situation with Kendall sort of presented himself, and because he had an opportunity to get with a Jenner, he took it. And we see that he cares more about dating her than she does dating him. So we see why he didn't want to be with Tinashe, because he wanted to be with Kendall Jenner. Okay. Now, as far as rejection is concerned, Tinashe to me seems like the girl who likes to chase, not necessarily is the type to like to receive attention from guys. I mean, especially like when it comes to guys approaching her or hitting her up in the DMs. I think she likes to chase, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if her relationship with Ben started with her contacting him, or he could have contacted her and maybe she was intrigued because, again, he's a young rising NBA star. He is a little younger than her, and Ben didn't see it the way that she did. Ben didn't see a long-term relationship. He didn't. And you can tell. You can tell by the fact that he hasn't even tried to reach out to her and make sure everything was square. Maybe he has behind the scenes, but it just seemed to me that she hadn't got over this guy. The fact that you're following this guy around, the fact that he says that you're obsessed with him, and you have to look at it and say she is obsessed with the guy. You know, her behavior says she's obsessed with him. She really thought she was going to be in a celebrity relationship with a rising NBA star, but it didn't manifest that way. What ended up happening is she ended up looking like a complete fool because she really wanted this to work and it didn't. And she still is following this guy on social media, still trying to get his attention, even after what has been said by her and him. You know, guys, especially a guy like Ben Simmons, he likes a challenge, man. I don't think he likes females who are all over him. I don't think he likes females that are constantly, pursuing him. I think that's a turnoff to guys like Ben Simmons. I think he's the type of guy that likes to go out and get with the female he thinks other dudes want. You know, I've said the same thing about women, that you have women who will pursue, a lot of them will pursue the same type of guys because he gets attention from a lot of other women, you know? And I can see that being the case with Tinashe. You know, she sees that other women are getting his attention and she wants to get his attention too. But you see, it didn't work out. Now, I think Tinashe has the potential to not only do things in music. I don't really know much about her music career. I know she has fans. She has over 2 million followers on Instagram, almost 1 million followers on Twitter. So she has a following, you know, and I'm pretty sure that she's not lacking in the attention from men department, especially quality men. But again, you got women who pick and choose. You know, they like to pick and choose the type of guys that they are with. But what if that don't work out? And I don't think that Tinashe really thinks about that. You know, I think she's still in love with this guy. And I think that if Ben Simmons was to hit her up and say, yo, let's go out, she'll do it in a quick second. I think she's in love with him. And I think the fact that he rejected her, I think the fact that he left her, I think is still in her mind, you know, because you have women, you know, not all, but you do have a sizable amount of women who just do not like rejection. They don't like to be the ones to have been left, you know. they like to be able to say, hey, I left the relationship. You know, just look at Kanye West and Amber Rose. She tells anybody that will listen that she left Kanye. But guess what? Okay, you left him, but he ended up getting with Kim K and he's still with her. You know, he didn't marry you. He didn't see you as marriage material. And the thing about a lot of guys is we know who's marriage material and we know who isn't marriage material. We know who's long-term relationship material and we know who isn't. And I think Tinashe was not long-term relationship material for Ben Simmons. I think he found her to be thirsty. I think he thought that she wanted the public relationship far too much. And I don't think he wanted to be a part of that, even though he's with Kendall Jenner, which leads me to believe that he really wants to be with Kendall and he's willing to have those public relationships. But when it comes to Tinashe, I think that, once again, I think that was a fling that went longer than it needed to. I think he felt like she was using him for clout and attention, even though Kendall's doing the same thing. But again, I think it's a situation of he's chasing Kendall. This is why he puts up with being embarrassed by Kendall, her getting with other dudes while she is with him. And I've spoken about that before. You know, these guys like Ben Simmons, man, you know, they won't put up with certain things with these females or with these other females that they really want to be with. They'll put up with all types of embarrassment because they really want to be with that particular female, you know. But I think Tinashe needs to move on. I think she's still in love with him. I think that if he wanted to be with her today, she would. If he told her, you know, you need to retract all the things that you said about me, especially in your song, I think she would do it in a second if he asked her. You know, that's the power of being able to be the guy that the female wants. She's willing to do whatever it takes to make that situation right. But we'll see if she's able to find somebody, or